And I'm back again. What's up, First Phorm? It's your girl Simba again. This week, I want to give you a little bit more of a background on how I grew up. So I was born in San Jose, California. I was raised in Stockton, California. And if anybody knows anything about Stockton, a red flag instantly goes up because it's one of the worst cities to live in, has one of the highest crime rates in the United States, and I think also the entire world. So definitely growing up was a struggle for me, just being in Stockton, California. At the time, I was being raised by my mom, single parent. She would commute every single day to San Jose, so she would take the train. I would get dropped off at 3 a.m. in the morning at a neighbor's house. They would take me to school. She would take the train all the way down back to the Bay Area, and she would catch the train and come all the way back to Stockton. So we ended up moving to Stockton just a little bit after my grandpa had passed. I was really young, but we had a really close relationship. So from then on, I ended up getting into track as an outlet. Just from then, I found basketball as my pride and joy, man, my bread and butter, my main love in sports. So just being in basketball and track all around has helped me develop as a person. Definitely helped me grow, taught me discipline, helped me kind of socialize a little bit more. Then not too long after that, I would say that my aunt had actually had a heart attack in our house when she was visiting. She already had heart problems, and she was kind of a bigger lady, so just a little more obese. Um, and a lot of the times I think like, oh, if I knew then what I know now, kind of scenario, like I would be able to help, because now I have a master's in athletic training, which is not personal training. It's more so like a physical therapy. So it's prehabilitation, rehabilitation, and emergency and acute care for athletes. So I feel like just knowing CPR, and sometimes I think like, dang, I could have probably saved your life, but just that happening. And my grandpa had passed of lung cancer, so sometimes I'm like, dang, if I would have just said stop smoking, or if I was so young. And then just dove head into my sports even harder, just again as an outlet to get my mind off of things. Then going to college, I got a partial track scholarship to UC Riverside. Go Highlanders. And in that time, my mom's best friend, who was also a part of the LGBTQ plus community, she'd been diagnosed with breast cancer. So over that time of my college career, she'd been fighting it. She actually went into remission. It went away. She was somebody that I was really close with, just because growing up, when my mom finally got a job in Stockton, California at the hospital, and I would come after school, I would sit in Kelly's office, my mom's best friend. Her name was Kelly, so I would sit in her office while my mom was, in the pharmacy working. And so we became really close, and she was like the first like LGBTQ plus figure that I had in my life. A real smart woman, had real great advice. And I just remember that summer that she had passed, I was just like, Mom, like telling myself, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna say thank you, and just kind of update her on my life, and actually, come out to her. And there were so many things that I wanted to talk to her about, just being a part of the community and just trying to navigate my way through the community. Just finally coming out. And I had gone through my finals. I was coming home, and I remember we were sitting at my brother's football game, and I was just like chopping it up with my mom, with a couple of my brother's football teammates' parents. And I was just like, Mom, how's Kelly doing? And She's like, oh, like, when she said, oh, I knew what she was talking about. Like, nah, I instantly, like, knew something wasn't right. And she's just like, well, her cancer came back, and she passed away. And I was just like, what? Like, why didn't you tell me? And my mom was like, well, you're going through finals and everything, and I didn't want to kind of like interfere with that. Like, but man, we're really close, so that also made me more determined to be involved in healthcare and just help people with health issues. And just my aunt, like I said, being obese, my grandpa also having lung cancer. It just made me more determined than ever just to go on and get my master's and kind of like try to help people. So I would say, all in all, like, yes, I'm a person that I feel like, all in all, I belong with First Phorm because just of how I can relate to people. I can empathize with people. I can sympathize with people. I've seen so many things growing up. Like, it wasn't the easiest situation, childhood for me as a person, but I made the best of it. I'm definitely a risk taker because I like to push myself to my. I feel like, all in all, I belong with First Phorm because just of how I can relate to people. I can empathize with people. I can sympathize with people. I've seen so many things growing up. Like, it wasn't the easiest situation, childhood for me as a person, but I made the best of it. I'm definitely a risk taker because I like to push myself to my, not only in fitness, but in my life and career goals as well. I want to go above and beyond, not only for myself, but for other people. I want to help, like I said before in my previous video, I want to help other athletes know that just because you have an injury doesn't always necessarily mean that it's the end of your career. It's the end of your sport. It's the end of doing what you love and following your dreams and pursuing your passion. I also want to be able to help other people realize and help other people that kind of have a lot of health issues to realize that nutrition and exercise can fix a lot of things. It can help a lot of those diseases and illnesses that we have out here in the world if people just grab life by the horns and take advantage of the resources. I just want to be a valuable resource. So that's why I try to take in as much knowledge as I can of nutrition and fitness, and try to, like, in my Instagram, my reels, and my TikToks, kind of try to push out that information that I've learned to other people, because if it's kind of like a each one teach one. I just want, if I can touch one person, it'll be most likely be a ripple effect. If I can touch two people, they'll touch more. And so, all in all, like, that's the type of person I want to be. I don't want to harp on, the not so great things in life. I want to add my own element, my own kind of optimism to it, my comedy, my jokes into that, so I can uplift and help, but also kind of turn that sadness, that frown into a smile. So if I can just help anybody in any way, that makes me happy. So I think that definitely that in itself embodies everything that First Phorm stands for. It's just helping people, being, that light in people's lives. And I definitely want to be that light at the end of the tunnel, trying to help people get to where they're going, trying to help people meet their goals, helping people out of certain situations. If I can do that, I feel like I definitely leave my footprints on this earth, and that's really what I'm looking forward to. I want to leave a legacy, and if it's any legacy, I want it to be